So today we are going to be working on the back, specifically the width portion. So this week we're going to be doing 2 different back workouts. As we've changed things up, this week we're going to do 2 back workouts. Next week we're going to do 2 leg workouts. And the weeks that we do the 2 back workouts, we are going to break it up between a width day, which is a lot of pull downs. We're going to accentuate the exercises that help build out the width of the back as opposed to the thickness, okay, which will be considered a lot of the rows and so forth. So today we are going to start with different pull down exercises. I'm going to start right here with a wide grip pull down. We're going to go get it done. Start. That's pretty light, so we're going to go right into it. This is how we kind of warm up a little bit in the beginning. Is we are using some of the lighter weight. We're going to focus on just going right into the next set. Now, the majority of the exercises are going to be pull downs. We are going to add a few pullover variations. So I'm going to do the rope or the cable pull through. I like to call pull through, but it is a pullover motion. We're going to use the machine pullover. We did dumbbell pullovers yesterday, but it was more for a focus on the overall chest. We might even do a single arm pullover to work the lats. Now, the reason I like to do that exercise is because it takes a lot of the arm out of the motion. 1, 2, 3. All right, so seeing by the rep cadence, today we are going to do, I like to, name it after bodybuilders and kind of their style. I'm going to name it after like Jay Cutler. So today's like a Jay Cutler style workout where we're just going to do continuous reps. There's not going to be a hold, a pause, a squeeze, a slower negative. We're just going to go through the range of motion in a controlled fashion. But the reps, we're just going to keep pumping and moving. Now you say, why do we do this? Doing this because of changing it up. Okay. I don't like to train in more of a ballistic style of training, like a Branch Warren. Not to say that that doesn't work. It just, I found that I end up hurting myself when I do that type of style of training. So I also find that if you do too much, especially pull downs, where you're just always looking to just get a crazy squeeze, you end up limiting the amount of weight that you're able to use. And on top of it, there's a strong probability that you're going to get a lot of forearm involvement, which is already a overworked muscle group of mine. So we're going to go into the last warm up. We're going to probably do 4 or 5 before we go into our working set. Definitely warmed up. We're going to probably do 8 to 12, being in the Jay Cutler workout today. He loves the 8 to 12 rep range, so we're going to do that. We're going to get into it right now. Let's go. Now, with this workout today, the way my split goes is it's normally a back and bicep workout. But as I mentioned to you guys in the past, the days in which I don't have my kids or any obligations in the evening, I like to break up my workouts so that I do a session in the morning and do a session in the evening. So today is going to be one of those days. I'm going to do back, go home, fuel, rest, work, come back, and then bang out a bicep workout in the evening. Let's go. Feels good. This is an exercise. I honestly like this style of working out. I find that a lot of the pull downs, um, I end up getting, like I said, a tremendous amount of muscle fatigue and pump in my forearms. It's just a muscle group that always takes over. I've talked about this in my bicep training. My forearms take a lot of the brunt of the exercise, which develops my forearms. But even though I'm using these straps, it's not something that I want to have any focus on. I want all the weight to be in my lats, so we get the lats bigger. All right, last set. Let's go. All right. Didn't have to move the camera. Didn't have to move my ass anywhere. We're just going to move on to a close grip. Okay. Again, this is not the sexiest workout in a sense that you're doing very, very similar exercises in the same kind of like plane, but because you're using different arm variations, your back is targeted differently. And that's because, like in this position, when we pull down like this, obviously our elbows are wide. When we're going in now, we're going to pull down close, our elbows are tight. We're going to hit the back in a different area. So, similar exercise, different hand position, completely different area. It's going to hit the back. Let's go. Yep. Ah. Warm up needed. Um, we just went in, did a wider version. We're just doing a closer grip version, using the same weight stack. So I think the body's familiar enough. Obviously, if you want to do a warm up, that's fine. But it felt like it's a similar enough motion. We're using the same stack. Not going to be too many different variables that are going to go into this. Obviously, the closer stance, it's going to look a little bit more bicep. One of the questions I get a lot asked is things like, they're not Versa grips, but it's a different brand called Prodigy wraps. I like them bigger because they have a wider top as opposed to Versa grips, but they're very similar. They're kind of like a knockoff. Versa grips are the standard in that kind of space. There's wrist wraps, there's hooks, using gloves. What's the best thing for back workouts? Should you use those things? At what level should you use them? So I think I don't ever like to say you should. I want to give you like the pros and cons of that. And then you got to make your own decision. So when you use things like straps and wraps and hooks and that kind of thing, you're taking a lot of, not all, but you're taking a lot of the forearm dependency out of the workout because you're assisting with the grip. So yes, you might not be able to completely strengthen the forearm at the same degree, but your grip is not going to fail as soon. So you're going to be able to put a more emphasis on your back, which if you are, and this is why a lot of people do use them, they're in there to work their back, not their forearms. So the answer to that question is that it will help you lift more weight for your back. On the flip side, if you do work a manual labor job, let's just say construction, and you want to strengthen your forearms, your grip strength, and some of the things because that's the job that you're going to do, and or you're playing a sport, or you're a power lifter or what have you. So say there's a need for you to have great, just raw grip strength, then you shouldn't be using them. There's no reason because you need to make sure that whatever it is that you're going to pick up, your grip strength is strong enough to do it. Do I think that You can still get big forearms by not by using these, yes, but then you're going to also have to do direct forearm exercises, which I do at the end of my bicep workout. So you got to make the own decision because of the goals that you're looking to accomplish. Kind of sum that up into sum up a lot of the things that I say. I mean, you could probably sum it all up into this: is that there is no absolute in bodybuilding. There is no absolutely this is the best, absolutely you should do this, absolutely is that. The only absolute that I'm going to give you is that you need to be absolutely consistent with everything that it is that you do. Okay, and this is just not bodybuilding, this is in life in general. You need to be consistent and you need to show up with intensity. So being consistent, coming to the gym every day is only going to get you so far. Being consistent and doing your job every single day, you come and do your job every single day, it's only going to get you so far. You'll probably have an average or above average physique. You'll probably have an average or above average job and salary and so forth because you're showing up every day, and that's more than most people. So great. But if you want to be great, that second part is intensity. You have to have unwavering intensity when you come in. When you come to the gyms, you need to fucking attack the weights. When you go to your job, you need to attack the fucking job that you are doing and try to do the best possible thing that you are doing. So that is the end all be all to all of my statements. When I give you guys like what is the best, there is no best. The best is stay fucking consistent and bring the most asinine fucking intensity to it, and you'll be successful. Let's get it. So we did 2 exercises for pull downs, and this is where I like to start doing a pull over or pull through exercise. I like to call it pull through because you're pulling through your body, but it is a variation of the pull over. The reason I like to do this exercise after about 2 there is because the arms are starting to fill up with blood, and I want to kind of just get rid of that by giving it a little extra of a break, but we're also putting that emphasis on the lats. So we're going to move this a little bit here so you guys can see the set as much as possible. Get some weight. That's kind of reasonable. We'll figure out what that is. I think it's 110 to 130. I think 110 is going to be first warm up. Okay. That was too easy. We're going to move on to increase the weight. It's probably going to be a good set right here. We're going to go right into it. All right, feels good. So I'm going to do quick. Again, there's no stress in the arms, only stress in the back. Go right into it. Get about 15 seconds. All right, next one. I'm probably going to increase the weight because that one we went over 15, and we only got to get about a 30-second rest, so I'm going to increase the weight on that one. Talk about consistency, guys. You see this every single day when I'm at the gym. Nutrition stays the same. Supplementation stays the same. Sleep stays the same. Hydration stays the same. You need to keep those things consistent. You're missing one, you're missing it all, okay? Now again, if you want to just be average, that's one thing. If you want to be great, you gotta check all the boxes, okay? You can't just not eat right, do your supplementation, sleep, and drink. It sounds silly, but on the flip side, you can't drink all your water, get all your supplements, get all your nutrition, but not sleep. So you gotta understand, guys, you gotta stay consistent with all these things. Last one. We're gonna move on to a pull down. I'm gonna go over here and steal this. Well, I usually do this exercise single arm, but and it's probably been, I don't know, probably been like fucking, I can't even remember, maybe like 3 months since I've done it both at the same time. Um, I'm gonna do one set. I'm gonna see how we feel. Um, I like it on the single arm, but if I'm feeling good on the double, then we'll go with it this week. It's it's always good to kind of alternate and change things up. Got to get my seat position here, so it might take a second. Get locked in. All right, that's fine. Just gotta get here. All right, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Lock it in. 15 felt good. Halfway through the set, I realized today's workout we are doing, as I called it, the Jay Cutler style, where we're keeping it continuous rep speed and tempo. Whereas you saw at the beginning of that one, I was squeezing. So we got to kind of change that back up because I want to kind of stay consistent with that. Haven't been doing that lately, so that's why my body kind of reverted back to more of the squeeze, which is not bad. Like I said, nothing's bad. You got to try it. In today's workout, I mentioned this is kind of the style that I want to do, so I want to stay consistent to that style. A caveat to that is if something doesn't feel right, just because you've picked a certain style or picked an exercise doesn't mean you stay with that. That's kind of the end all be all answer to that. Doesn't feel right, meaning you have unnecessary pain, you're not feeling it in the muscle, you got joint discomfort, or it's just like, I don't know, doesn't feel right. Something in your head's not going right. Stop, do something else. Bicep action, tricep, delts are popping. It's a good thing about having a camera on. You can just, and it's turned back at me, I can just flex the whole fucking time. It's like I got a mirror hanging out with me. Oh man, you're gonna have fun with this shit, bro. All right, let's go. Continuous. Definitely a different feel with the continuous tension. It's tough. Both of them are tough. You don't really, not to say you get a break when you do this slow and controlled, but it's just a different feel. There's obviously also a cardiovascular component because you're moving through that. So you have to find a breathing cadence when you're doing those faster reps. Whereas when you're squeezing, you're holding, I feel that's a lot easier to find that rhythm of your breathing. Got one more set of this. I find another pull down apparatus we got to use. We're gonna go in here. Last one. Let's go. Ready? 15. Come on. Oh fuck. Hey, that's all she wrote on that. And then I think we're gonna slide over here to this machine. So the last pull down exercise we're gonna do today is another plate loaded, but a wide grip. So We started the workout with a wide pull down. We did a close grip pull down. Then we did a pull throughs or pull overs. After that, we went over to a close pull down. Now we're doing a wide pull down, and then we're going to finish with the pull over machine. So there's going to be a wide version. Plates are loaded. As we did with the last and all of our exercises, we're keeping a continuous tension, but the reps are going to be continuous. So there's no slow squeeze, contraction, stretch. As a lot of our normal exercises are done, I refer to this as the Jay Cutler style. Give him all the props. Definitely one of those bodybuilders that I used to look up to when I was a kid. Not only just for his physique and what he was able to do, but like because of the business side. I think a lot of people respect Jay for all the things that he's done successfully with the business. Right now, he is the #1 L-carnitine. We're going to talk about that in a second when we're done with this. I had a little seat. The seat can go down. Got a lower seat because my range of motion is weak on that. Gonna get so we can get a nice stretch in this. There you go. So, kind of cool thing right now is, talking about Jay and how successful he's been as a business person, obviously Mr. Olympia and all that. He has the #1 L-carnitine on Amazon. And ours was, I think, number 8 or 9 at that point when his was trending. And because he was out of stock, ours jumped up. And we're now number, I think, 3 or 4 L-carnitine on Amazon in the world. People are loving the flavors. We have 5 flavors. We actually sold out of 2 or 3 on our website. I think 3 on our website, 2 on Amazon. Theirs are getting restocked. It's being shipped right now. Tens of thousands of units are being shipped right now to Amazon. Tens of thousands of units are being shipped to our warehouse. So it's really, really cool to see a guy, that I grew up watching. Obviously, his brand's a little bit further than ours. But what is that old saying? Look at this guy over here. We got that little advertisement in there. There's another IFBB pro on the team. But you got to make your Jay always made his rivals his peers, or his like the people he looked up to as peers, and that's the kind of the same thing. They said are not at Jay Cutler's level yet for our brand, but we're in that ballpark. Especially that at least with one of those products, we're in that ballpark. So something cool that I used to buy his videos back in the day, and now we're on that same playing field with the businesses that we own, going head to head. So dream big, guys. When you guys are looking at what you can accomplish, you could be that guy that's seeing me right now with a sports nutrition brand and, doing this YouTube channel and so forth. And it might inspire you the same way as when I used to buy the DVDs. They didn't have YouTube back then. I used to fucking buy DVDs, watch Jay Cutler, pay for the pay-per-view back in the day. If you guys even know what fucking pay-per-view is, like off the television, and to watch a Mr. Olympia. And fast forward, he has his own brand. I have my own brand, and we're competing against each other on the biggest stage on Amazon, And it's not we're competing each other like we have similar products. He's #1 and I'm #4, So fucking cool. One more set of that. I'm gonna try to go up a little bit on weight. I'm gonna put some 10 pounds on there. All right, we're going right into a last set. So I'm gonna do is I'll show you guys a different other exercise. We finished with some single arm pull throughs or pull downs. get a nice contraction. All right, so the last exercise we're gonna do today is a single arm. So we're gonna lean just like we would regular, but we're gonna do it a single arm way. Big Stu calls it pull throughs. Yes, it is a pull over. Whatever the fuck, make up your own name. Just get it done. This, actually, you know what? I said we're gonna do everything continuous reps. Normally I go for a squeeze. We're gonna do the continuous reps with this. I have to find the weight first. That's gonna be challenging. Get your hand like here, and you're gonna push down into the rope, So we're gonna get the right side. We'll switch to the other side. So when doing this kind of style of workout, you obviously, I mentioned in the beginning, we are not doing any type of row exercises. We have a workout in 3 days, 4 days, that is designated for all the heavy rowing exercises. Why do we break this up? Because that I find is the back is a very, very large muscle group that can be hit in very, very unique angles. And if you're looking to continue to improve your back, you know, you need to be able to hit it from all those different angles. And when you do things like heavy rows and heavy T-bar rows, it's very hard to then put in enough effort in there. Now, again, I've been doing this for about 3 months and been making progress. And I've been giving my legs kind of a break by only hitting them once a week. So what we've been doing now is we're going to do, like this week, 2 different workouts. Next week, we're going to do 2 different leg workouts, but our back day is going to be a full-on back day. So we're going to do 1 workout, probably 2 or 3 rows, and 2 or 3 pull downs. Okay, like a traditional full back workout. Now, I'm gonna get 1 more set of this. Then we're gonna go finish with some dumbbell shrugs. Get a little bit of trap work in there. Not doing a ton of trap stuff. We're not gonna do any kind of mid-back trap stuff because again, that's gonna be hit when we do our row day. But I do like to make sure that we do a little bit of traps to continue to, you know, hit that area. Even though it is a strong muscle group, I want to, just like I would in my rear delts, I'm going to put about 3 sets in there. I'm going to put effort, but I'm not going to crush myself. Okay? You don't want those muscle groups, regardless if they are a good muscle group, if you don't stimulate them, they will eventually regress. They also will not stay as strong. If they don't stay as strong, then obviously they're going to hurt you when you're doing other exercises that recruit that muscle group. All right, so left side. All right, done. All right, last exercise is going to be the shrug, which I like to call the calves of the upper body. Everybody complains that about their calves not growing. It's because they do shitty fucking reps and or don't work their legs hard enough. If you don't have big traps, it's probably because you don't work your back hard enough, so you do shitty reps of the shrug. We're going to lift some heavy weight right here. So you guys understand the analogy right there? When you don't do full range of motion, you do half reps, you do bullshit, you're not going to be able to develop big calves. Now, another thing is if you don't do full range of motion and you don't do heavy leg training as a whole, you're going to have shitty calves. On the flip side, I call the shrugs. If you don't do heavy rows, heavy back exercises, and then full range of motion shrugs, you're not going to have big traps. Plain and simple. Yes, there's a genetic component to everything in life, but do not blame genetics before you put in the work, okay? You might not have the most massive calves. You might not have the most massive traps, but you will have respectable calves and respectable traps if you put in the work, okay? So full range of motion, legs, full range of motion calves, and you'll get big calves. Same thing with shrugs. All right, set 2. So you guys are seeing I'm coming up. This is definitely an exercise that I want to squeeze on. Not going to put myself in a compromising position. We got one more on that. Like I said, you don't have to kill yourself. You absolutely don't have to wreck yourself with a crazy amount of stuff when it comes to shrugs. It's just short range of motion, the weight that you can control, squeeze, and do it. So you don't need to go to the end of the rack if you can't control the 60s or 70s. Okay, so start with those lighter weight, full on contraction, full squeeze, get it done, 60-second rest periods. We're done, let's go. All right, time to rock and roll. All right, that's all she wrote, baby. Back's done. We're coming back tonight to hit biceps. Let's go.